Hey everybody, Jesse here. I'm a freelance 3D artist based in Los Angeles. I've been doing it successfully for over 4 years, serving now over 100 clients all over the world, working on a variety of 3D projects. This is the reel of our studio just playing in the background. And basically, the number one mistake that I see people make is that they will call themselves a freelance 3D artist and they wonder why they're not getting work. And the thing is that you have to understand that to an average client, a freelance 3D artist doesn't really mean much. They don't really know what to really imagine under it. And they're not really sure what it is that you actually do. You know, are you doing industrial renderings? Are you into architecture? Do you do cars? Do you do products? Do you do ships? There are so many different corners of the industry and niches that you can specialize in that really, if you just call yourself a freelance 3D artist, they don't really know who you are. And unless your work is absolutely spectacular, which is very, very hard to do, you have to be in the top 1% for basically your work to be so good that people will come to you no matter what you call yourself. You're gonna have to do some better marketing and branding of who you actually are and what it is that you do. So just to give you an example, let's just say that you really are into cars. Then I would just straight up pursue something like a freelance automotive, or let's just say automotive 3D artist, and make a search. And you're gonna get some renderings of cars. And basically you have to understand that when a client is looking for you, they're trying to find you. And YouTube is a search engine just like Google. So it's very possible that somebody at a studio, in Los Angeles or New York, they have a client. Maybe that client is, let's say, a Tesla competitor. So let's say Faraday Future, and they have this car and they're looking for someone to do a rendering of this car. So if I'm working at the studio, I'm gonna go on YouTube right away and just type in, automotive 3D artist, and I'm gonna start looking at some of the top search results naturally and see if maybe this person who made this tutorial, Apex Automotive, that sounds right up my alley, that's what I'm looking for. I am gonna look at this person's Behance. I see that there's some nice car renders. I'm gonna message him and say, hey, I saw your car render. I was wondering how much you charge. That's it, guys. That's literally how you get clients. It's this simple. So really it's about being at the right place at the right time and having the right skill for what the client is looking for. If you just call yourself a freelance 3D artist, you're gonna get a bunch of stuff. Funny enough, some of my work is here because I actually put, 3D artist Los Angeles freelance into the titles of my videos to make sure that I am easily searchable, and that has helped me get some work. But the point is that you want to find an area that there is demand for. So I know that there's demand for cars. So I know that if I were to start my business all over again, I know that automotive would be a good area to get into. So I would brand myself as an automotive 3D artist. I would make tutorials about everything automotive. I would post content about everything automotive. Basically, I would do whatever it takes to make sure that when someone searches for automotive 3D artist, I am one of the top 5 search results no matter what. And you want to do this for both YouTube and Google. So then if I just copy this and make a new tab, I want to make sure that somewhere in here on the first page, preferably, my work pops up. And then I would make an Instagram and make sure that some automotive renders are on my Instagram. And I would just center everything around just that one thing. And once you make it clear that you are the go-to person for that one thing, you will have so many people coming to you that you won't have time to do all of it. And you'll be able to raise your rates because you're going to become the expert in that one specific thing. So really, if you're struggling to get clients, I would say niche down and get more specific, and also make sure that you are in an area that there is actually demand in. Because For example, on Instagram, I would see like those, loopable Instagram videos. And it's always like, something spinning or like a ball going back and forth like this. And I see a lot of young aspiring 3D artists who think that this is what you need to do to get work. And let me tell you, in my entire career, I have not had, well, maybe I had like one client ask for something like this. This is the kind of stuff that gets hundreds of thousands of views on Instagram, but you have to ask yourself how many clients actually need like a thing spinning around a spiral. You still need to think about the product maybe and think, okay, maybe I can somehow wrap this into a commercial for a product or do something that will pay my bills. But really, at the end of the day, I found that this kind of stuff is almost entirely useless unless it's serving a purpose and driving real clients to your profile. Because you could spend a year making these loopable videos and get 100,000 followers, but all of those followers are going to be other 3D artists, right? And that's another mistake that I see a lot, is that you have to ask yourself, am I trying to impress the CG community, or am I trying to attract and impress a real client? Because I can tell you a lot of my stuff on YouTube has only 100 views maybe, right? A lot of my videos have like 80 views, 90 views, but it doesn't matter because it's the right video for the right client. So let's just say this drone exploded video. I know that there are startups and companies that are starting drones every year, right? You go to CES, there's always a drone startup. So I know that sooner or later, and it has already happened for me a few times, somebody will find this video and they will say to themselves, this is perfect. This guy is exactly who we're looking for. This is exactly what we need. His contact information is right here. He looks like he has his stuff together. They have a website here. There are some examples of work. Let's contact him and see how much he would charge for something like this for our drone. And that's really how it happens, guys. And basically, I've had a constant flow of work coming to me for the last 2 years. The first 2 years, I had to build this brand up. But now, basically, I wake up and almost every day I have at least one inquiry from someone who said that they, saw my work and would like to talk about a project. And when you think about it, yes, I had to put in the work in the beginning to build this YouTube channel a little bit. But really, I just focused on one thing, which for me was product rendering. For you, it could be cars, or it could be drones. It could be anything that there are actual companies and clients for. And you become the go-to person for that, and the work will come to you. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. Just put some thought into what market you're serving and really try and switch your mindset from being self-centered on look at my work, me, this is my reel, this is my video, look at me. And instead try to flip it around and be like, how can I do something for my clients? What would they appreciate? What would help them sell more products? What can I make that would make a potential client say, this is someone that I want to work with? You really have to switch your mindset from being inward centered to being outward centered onto, providing value to your clients with work that makes sense instead of making a loopable ball go back and forth. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. I'm going to try and keep making these videos for you. Please let me know in the comments what other questions you have. Have a Merry Christmas. It is the 25th, and I'll see you guys next year.